What's up, Tiger fans? Welcome back to the Streak Speak. We are here with episode 1 of season 2. Joining us is Lauren Bolen from gymnastics, and I'm personally super excited for this episode. Lauren, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Absolutely. You were the only gymnast on the roster from Maryland.
Yes, which is crazy because there's 22 of us on the team, and I don't know how it's just me. Like, it's so interesting. They always talk to me, they're like, why is your flag everywhere? I'm like, you just don't get it, okay? No, but it's really cool because I get to hear a lot of different, things from different parts of the country. It's really awesome.
Sure. But what made you decide on coming here as a local product in the first place?
So a lot of my family's graduated from here, like my mom, my dad, and my aunt and uncle. So it's always been on my mind. And when I found out they had a gymnastics team, my mom put me in their camps, and I was just really excited. I tried to look other places, but nothing felt right. And I found a family here.
Sure. And when did you know it was gymnastics? Because it's one of those sports that a lot of high schools don't offer, and we'll get into that. But what was your process through youth and kind of growing up and kind of figuring out gymnastics is what I want to do?
Yeah, so I would just flip around the house, and my mom was like, oh my gosh. And my mom was a cheerleader, so she tried me out for gymnastics, but of course my dad and my mom tried to help me do other sports. I played softball, well, t-ball, not softball. But I tried that, I tried soccer, and nothing just did it for me. And my mom was like, she has too much energy, she should just put me in the gym. And a lot of little girls, they fall in love with gymnastics as soon as they do it, because it's something fun and whatever. But once I got older, I realized, okay, maybe I could try for college. That's what my coaches told me. So that's kind of how the process got there. The love hasn't gone away. So.
Yeah. And when you are in high school, because again, like I said, it's not a sport that high schools really offer. How do you balance your development, your practice with the other demands of being in school and your social life? Because it is different. It's not like you're playing with, the neighborhood kids and they don't have time. It doesn't all make sense. So how did you kind of balance your development in gymnastics with kind of growing up through the high school stage?
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. It's really demanding. It's a really demanding sport. And I would literally go from school, normal school. Mm-hmm. So 6 a.m. or 7:30 to 2:15, I would go straight to gym. And we had 4.5-hour practices 5 days a week.
Wow.
So I would go 22 hours a week. And I don't know, since my life was constantly on the go, I was always ready for it. I was used to not having free time. But I definitely had to miss out on a lot of social things. I would come to football games late. But thankful for my mom, everyone else, they wanted us to have a social life. So they made sure, I would leave practice early sometimes if I wanted to go to a game. And not all the time, though. I wasn't always allowed. But it was definitely really hard to balance, but it was all worth it.
Yeah, and you talk about the demands, which obviously come from your time, but also your body. You do it for, like you just said, 22-hour weeks, and you do it for 4 years, 4 more years, and you kind of keep going. How do you take care of different parts of your body differently than what other athletes here do?
So in gymnastics, there's 4 events. So sometimes, if we'll go up to my coach and we'll tell him, oh, I need a break on this day. So we'll plan out our assignments and well, okay, we need to save your ankle or your Achilles for this weekend. So we'll lower your numbers or stuff like that. And then we obviously have treatment. Back in club, we didn't have that, but here it's nice. We have my amazing athletic trainer, Emily, and she takes really good care of us. And it's really demanding, but I don't know if it's any different than other sports, but I must say we cut down on different assignments, or we'll take a week off and then come back and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then you have the mental side that you have to balance too. And I know you and a lot of your teammates have always been involved in things around here, Own Your Roar and some other things where they've been very vocal about that kind of mental health help, because your sport demands that. And we've seen all the way up to the Olympics, that's had an impact. So what do you kind of do to take care of your mental? What are some things that you've dealt with that have kind of made you reflect and realize that that is something important that you do have to take care of?
Yeah, because gymnastics is clearly very physical, but honestly, it's pretty much all mental. At some point, your body knows what to do and you're physically ready. It's just all mental. It's a scary sport, but some things I do is I just really take my rest time. Anytime I can find it, I literally told you I was napping earlier. I find time in my day to take a moment to myself and calm down. And also I've reached out to my friends. We all have each other's backs and stuff like that. So that really helps me. And I don't know, it's definitely hard growing up in a sport that is very, very serious, and you're always in a leotard, and it's very hard. They don't really teach you about nutrition when you're little, so it's hard, and they're telling you what to eat and all this stuff, and you shouldn't really be thinking about what you're eating at the age of 10, but that's just how the sports culture is, which I'm hoping changes. But so I just kind of just take time to myself and really try and take away all gymnastics school and be to myself, because that really helps me reset.
Yeah. And then you talk about kind of the mental preparation, and your body does what it already knows it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're going through your training or what you're doing now, obviously it changes throughout your life, but what are some of the tips that you've internalized and kind of made a part of your routine on both the vault and the beam, because that is what you specialize in?
Yeah.
What are some things that you had to think through and kind of train yourself to do before that is second nature now? Like, what does that look like for somebody who's just starting?
It's definitely like, I feel like the biggest thing is having trust in yourself, like especially like beam, because beam, it's hard to explain. Like the skills are very simple, but it's all on a 4-inch piece of wood.
Right.
So it's like, it's all mental. So that's the biggest thing on beam for me that I tell myself is like, I used to be so scared. Like I used to cry every day when my coach would make me do one of my skills. Like every day without a failure, I would cry. And like, but now I just like, once you realize it's not that scary, you have to think of like the worst that could happen. What you like, I know for most people it sound bad, but you split the beam, I don't know. But like every gymnast goes through it. And like, once you start to like just do drills and like stuff like that, you begin to have trust in yourself. And that is the biggest part. It's like, you'll get there eventually. Numbers are so important, doing it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So. And
I watch you guys and I always think like, how do they decipher the floor and the ceiling and, you know, all those kind of things when you guys are moving in the air. It's unbelievable. But the team itself has had sustained success for now years. I mean, we've just hit, I think, 26 ranked in the country.
Yeah. And
every social media post after a meet is the new record for this and that. So what in your 4 years and what you've seen before, what you're going to see after, what is the key to that sustained success? What has kind of impacted that, where that culture's lasted all throughout your years?
I must say, like, the biggest thing is, like, especially in gymnastics, like when you're in club, it's all individual. Like I'm on a team, like I'm on a club team, but you compete for yourself. But here it's like, it's all about team. Like you have a lineup and you count 5 out of 6 of those scores. So you really rely on each other to hit. Even though it's individual, you're still relying on the team. And I think that the best of our success is that we have a really close knit team and we have our lineups, and it's like, we want to hit for each other. Like we want to do well for each other. Like even if someone messes up, like we have their back, like we'll pick it up for them and we'll hit for them. And I think that's our key to, like, is what our key is to success, because we really rely on each other, and each lineup has their own like chemistry with each other. And like if someone makes a mistake, like I'm not even worried because I know that everyone else has got them. Yeah.
And you talk about other people in general, kind of relying on them. Your inspirations throughout your career, you know, in your meets and outside your meets, in your sport, outside your sport, your parents, your family, who are your biggest inspirations that have kind of guided you to stay inspired and stay motivated and be who you are? What are those people in your life?
I've got to say my mom. Like I grew up with like mostly just me and my mom, and it was like she like supported me through everything, like would take me to all my gym things. She's came to every single one of my meets, and like she's always been like proud of me and like believed in me even when things were like really rough. I mean, we all know the recruiting process is rough. So it's like getting here was like everything I ever wanted, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm just excited. But she's definitely my inspiration. Like anytime I'm upset about something, I go and she's like, you need to like calm down. You're literally fine. Like, look at how far you've come and stuff like that. So definitely my mom.
And you have your coaches as well, who around here notoriously have big personalities, are really in the community, kind of getting involved. Go into a little bit about your coaching staff and kind of what they mean to you guys. Oh yeah,
I mean, it's like everything. Like I came in my freshman year without a coach. Like we literally didn't have a coach for like the first month, and then Jay was just like there, like being like more of like a substitute, and then he like took the full-time position. I mean, you can tell just from all the records and like the team he's built, like it's been like a complete switch around. Like I think we're like 60th and now we're in the 20s. Like it's like just a big change, but they're amazing. Like both him and Ashley like put in a lot of work to like get us here, and I think they buy into it just as much as we do. Like we all want to win and like do well. So I think they've created a great environment. I love both of them. Yeah. And then obviously like we have my lift coach Logan, and he's like took the time to understand gymnastics, which is like amazing. Like it's so nice, and he like really cares about us and our bodies on, like he doesn't want to overdo it, but then he also keeps us really strong. And same with Emily. Emily's been taking care of us. I mean, gymnastics always comes in with pains and aches. We're like all in the training. So yeah, just an amazing set of staff. And then we just got a volunteer assistant coach, Jazz. She was on the team with me, but she's a great coach too. She's been helping us out on floor a lot, and we've been looking great. So. Great.
And every meet you guys have is kind of a cause meet, right?
Yeah.
And the last one I think is kind of up to you guys.
Yeah.
So have you decided on what your cause is going to be and kind of go into, if you have, what it means to you?
Yeah. So I chose autism awareness, and my uncle, so like my mom's brother, he's autistic, nonverbal, and like he's he's like in his 50s now, but it's like it just always means a lot to me because I just see like how he lives life and like all that, and I think it's a really good thing for people to be like educate themselves on, because it's definitely like there are people out there like that, and it's just, I don't know, it hurts sometimes to see if he gets treated differently and stuff, and I just want people to like know that, I don't know, they're people too. So
yes, absolutely. And our final question, which I know you know, what have you done today to make Towson Athletics a better place than it was yesterday?
Oh man, today, let's see. Well, in the gym, I did a lot of cardio today, so hopefully our floor routines will be better. Well, no, I made floor lineup, but hopefully my gymnastics will be better. But what did I do today? Let me think. I don't know. That's all. I literally woke up, came to practice.
And you came here.
And I came here and I got to talk. I got to educate people on gymnastics. Yes. They don't know anything about it. So.
Yes, there you go. Well, thank you again for joining us.
Yes.
As always, we'll follow you throughout the winter. And to all you guys, check out TowsonTigers.com for all the winter sport updates and schedules. We will see you guys around town soon. Go Tigers.